There we go. Hello, Danny.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Doing good.
I am exhausted. I pulled an all-nighter last night working on shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cryptic sent me some stuff, so I'm working on that. For some streams in the future. How was your streams this week so far?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Went a little longer today.
Nice. Well, that's good. That's good. Because normally you don't stream for very long. Normally your max is normally what, like 3, 4 hours, right?
About 4 hours, sometimes five.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Most of my streams nowadays are because like I just don't feel like streaming anymore. I'm just like, nope, I'm just in a bad mood. I just have to end stream now, and it feels awful. Like I think my tank stream yesterday lasted 2 hours. Like it was bad.
Sometimes it's just like that.
Yeah. But anyways, hello everyone, YouTube. How are you guys doing today? I'm currently running on like 30 minutes worth of sleep, so I apologize. And it also doesn't help for the fact that this is probably the longest TWAB that we've had in like a solid like month and a half, 2 months.
Oh yeah.
This TWAB is big as fuck, and that's not including the what is it? The blog posts, the articles.
Yeah.
The articles. Oh, we're gonna need to get into. Where do we want? Do we want to start off with the articles, Danny, or do we want to go into those at the end? Because
I
there's a lot to
mean,
talk about on those.
out of all of them, only the subclass changes I think are worth looking at. The other stuff is okay, but
That's fair.
the
So,
subclass changes are like the big one.
right. So, and because it is a very long TWAB, we're just gonna go ahead and hop right on into it. So, um, uh, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Um, So, all of the stuff for this week. There's a lot of shit to go over. So, keep in mind, Guardian Games and Guardians Game Cup is live. We are also getting our first look at Season of the Deep, which is next season, Season 21. This will include details on our 3 new strand aspects, the one for each of the classes. Recapping big changes coming with abilities, new exotic armor focusing, and stat roll details. We've been encountering that, and we've been seeing a lot of stuff about that on Twitter and in blog posts as well. Upcoming economy and crafting updates. Again, we've covered this in the past. Really great to see this. A note on upcoming season passes. No, I have not seen anything about this yet, so I'm excited to go over that. Along with that, we're going to be seeing Trials of Osiris updates, a sneak peek at new rewards, weapon changes, learnings from Trials Labs, updated Trials intro quest, changes to Passages of Wealth and Mercy, which is very interesting because they've been in the game for a long time. Dominion is the new core mode for Trials, flawless gilding update, new emblem reward, and Trials map voting results. Along with that, there is new Prime gaming gear and getting our Oprah on again with more wallpaper. So, when do we want to do the blog post? Do we want to do it now before we get into Guardian Games, or do we want to do it at the end?
Do I'd say just go until they mention the blog post.
Okay, so one class through them all, or at least get bragging rights. Guardian Games has started. For those of you that have not logged on this week, Titans are whooping everybody's ass.
Which is fair.
Yeah. But like there's like the best way that I can describe it is like hunters are like warlocks are like Titans are like eh. Like it's gonna be a Titan. It's gonna be a Titan win this year.
Yeah.
Like I'm no color me surprised. Like 2 voice actors for Titans died, right? So like
Yeah.
yeah, the French voice actor for Saint 14 and Lance Reddick, the English voice of Zavala, passed away. So yeah, Titans are coming out for revenge this year, and you know what? I'm not mad at it. Like,
Yeah.
like they after the past month they've had, month and a half to 2 months, they deserve the W. Like
Yeah.
they
It's
have
fair.
yeah. So Well, and also the especially after the fucking nerfs they got. um,
Yeah, they
which
did
will
get a few.
they got dude, there was a lot of fucking changes on that. Um, but yeah, so Guardian Games is live. Go play that shit. I actually did all of my weekly shit last night while I stayed up.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got most of my weekly shit done except for like one or two things. I'm already platinum on the Vanguard playlist. I have yet to get platinum on what's the mode again called? Supremacy.
Supremacy. Yeah.
I can't be bothered to play against it. It is the highest of sweat lords I have seen in a long time.
I've seen a lot of people that haven't been playing Crucible a whole lot since D1 have been playing Crucible during this.
Yes, I have also been seeing a lot of people nailing headshots when they should not be getting headshots. Um, Now, mind you, right? I am not that bad of a player. Okay, like in PvP, I can hold my own to a certain extent. I am not trash tier. Okay, when I say I've been headshotted more times in 2 hours than I have the past 4 years of playing Crucible, something's not right, dog. Like, sweat lords or hackers were out. I don't know what's going on, but it was not fun. Um, the game mode is cool. It's just for those of you that don't know, supremacy is basically just kill confirmed. If you kill someone, you gotta run up, grab their engram to get the points. You can if you die, your teammates can run up, grab yours, and deny the point. It is very sweaty right now because it is pitting classes versus classes basically against each other.
Yep.
Cause I'm gonna be real honest. Uh, when I played, I had a team full of solar warlocks running Daybreak. Which, by the way, why would you do that other than me? Because I was playing Void. Because I'm not a psychopath. Versus an entire team of hunters running Golden Gun. You can tell how that match ended up. So yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, I would die from a golden gun. I would respawn and I would get instantly one tapped by another golden gun. So yeah, spawn camping was a pain in the ass. Uh, Basically to say that was super fun. I also apologize if you see me drinking a lot. My throat's been kind of fucked up all day. But either way, Guardian Games is here. Go talk to Eva. Get your shit done. Right now,
yeah.
here is the new stuff. Rolling in the deep with a season 21 first look. And I love this art of like the submarine door with the different guardians and underwater with the giant eye. I am
Um,
so excited. I really hope that we're going back to Titan.
I think we are because that's Sloan.
In the middle?
Yep, that's Sloan.
How can you tell?
The armor.
Oh, is that her armor?
That's her.
No shit. Oh, I thought you were talking about the one over here, like right in front of the eye. I didn't realize the down
No.
below. I'm
Look at
fucking.
her arm though.
Yeah, no. Uh.
That's taking
Oh.
shit.
Oh. I mean, I'm very excited. I'm very, very. I mean, it's been since season
Of
14.
Arrivals, like just
Season
after
of
season of Arrivals.
Season of Arrivals, season 14, right? I think no,
Uh,
season 14 or season 16.
it's been a while.
Yeah. Titan was taken away from us. And it'll be really nice to see Titan again. I'm not gonna lie. Titan, I think, is the one planet that I was really sad that they got rid of. Um, I really didn't give a shit about what was the one for Curse of Osiris? Was that Mercury?
Oh, Mercury, yeah, nobody misses
Yeah,
Mercury.
Mercury was trash. Old Mars was okay. I'll give Old Mars is passable. Um And
Io is also okay.
yeah, Io was okay, and I think we can all agree after Forsaken, nobody gave a shit about nobody gave a shit about the
Tangled Shore. There
yes.
is not a whole lot to do on the Tangled Shore.
Yeah, other than to do the Forsaken storyline, that place was basically fucking useless. Um
Yep.
well, to be fair, technically Indigo visits Spider to swap out mats. That was
Yeah.
really the only reason why you went. So, and a version without text. So yeah, so this is the version with text, the version without text. And again, that this this artwork is amazing because I mean, just take a look at the Guardians that are basically, I guess you could say, like infected in a way,
Like,
or have like some kind of like water-based ability or water-based armor because it's all
yeah.
set up to be like flowing coral and shit, which I'm so fucking here for. I think it's dope. Um, so
Yeah,
that
they're
is,
getting a lot more intricate with their armor designs, and I'm okay with that.
uh, I will say though, I can tell that the Warlock is the one on the right. Why
Yep.
does the helmet still look like ass?
They they still just refuse to make better looking helmets for
Fuck!
Warlock.
Like, come on! Give me a decent fucking looking helmet! Like, I get it. Titan helmets go Oonga Boonga and Hunters have the hoods. But for fuck's sake, can you make Warlock helmets look decent, Bungie? God damn it, Bungo. So that is our sneak peek for this week. Along with that, we couldn't stand waiting any longer to talk about 3 new aspects. So, they're going to be going into each of the aspects here, and we're going to just kind of quickly talk about them. So, the Hunter aspect. Threaded Spectre. Activate your class ability to leave behind a decoy woven from strand matter that draws the attention of nearby combatants. After taking significant damage or when combatants approach, the decoy detonates, dealing damage and releasing threadlings that seek out and attack nearby foes. Now, when I read this, I immediately think, dear God, they brought in Rainbow Six Siege clones to fucking D2. That's my initial thought. I'm gonna get tripped up on that shit in PvP constantly.
I I don't know how effective this actually is gonna be.
Well, they said so. It's supposed to be fairly tanky, so I'm gonna assume that maybe it deals damage, deals a certain amount of damage based on like, with like a minimum. It deals a certain amount of damage based on like maybe you hit it or something. I'm not entirely
Yeah.
sure. It is interesting though. This is the first time that hunters have actually gotten something that's kind of like this. Because you guys haven't really had a decoy of that kind, right? Like you get invisibility, you got dodges, you got rolls, right? But you've never
Yeah.
actually had like a decoy.
It's definitely different for Destiny. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so very interesting. Now the Titan aspect, Flechette Storm. While you are sliding, activate your charged melee ability to leap into the air, knocking nearby targets away and dealing damage. While airborne, activate your charged melee again to launch a cluster of damaging, unraveling projectiles. Repeatedly activating melee will chain additional throws. That, I have a feeling, is going to get instantly nerfed in PvP. Or it'll,
Probably.
or you know what? Actually, no. I take that back. Hunter Stasis didn't get nerfed for a season and for an entire year and a half. So you know what? I'll give it a year. I'll give it a year until to figure out if they nerf it or not.
I am interested to see with a few other things, but we'll talk about those once we get to the subclass changes.
Yeah. So, but overall, something really interesting that Titans, because Titans kind of have like a miniature version of this in a way. With what's the Thunder Crash? What's the roaming Thunder Crash called?
Uh, I know what you're talking about, but I can never
It's
remember
yeah,
the name of it.
you run around, you slam your fist, you create sparks of jolt, whatever, blah 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 blah. That's just the strand version of this, basically.
Yeah.
So that is pretty solid. Now the one that I am very excited for, Warlock aspect, the Wanderer. Tangles you throw attach to enemies and detonate into a suspending burst. Threadling final blows create a tangle. This is very interesting. Not as complex as the other two, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of sad about. I really wish that because it seems way too simplistic to be a warlock thing. Like the
Yeah,
other two needed 2 lines of text. We got one. What the fuck is this? Like, oh yay, we got a tangle. Now you can throw it and it hits people. It's not like, first Nova Bomb doesn't lock onto targets either. Like,
it's that was one of the things that I thought about when I read that. I was like, that that seems kind of bland.
it's
Like,
it's very mid. It is very mid. I'm gonna be honest. Now, to be fair, I want to see the damage from the detonate to determine whether or not it's worth it. Because if the detonate damage is high, I may reconsider my position on it.
now, if it also works with those exotic boots and
Oh,
still
second
creates
filaments?
threadlings,
Second filaments? Yup.
yeah, if it still creates the threadlings from doing that, anyways,
It,
that might be pretty solid. But
yeah. So we'll see. Again, I need to see numbers before I determine whether or not it is
yeah,
worth it or not. But I mean, you're not wrong, Danny. It feels so bland. It's like we got like Hunters and Titans got gourmet meals, and we got the first bite, and I mean the first bite of the appetizer, and then the appetizer got ripped away from us.
yep.
That's what it feels like. I just, I Bungie, if you just want to get rid of the Warlock class, just tell us. Just tell us. I won't be mad if you're at least honest with me about it. Okay? Now, Stasis, Strand, and Light subclasses get their glow ups for Season 21. So, tuning changes the supers, including a nice buff to damage resistance and damage dealt in PvE, a class by class breakdown in Season 21 changes, what we're doing to beef up Stasis, and how subclass keywords are evolving for Arc and Solar players. So, I'm not going to pull
Yeah.
up the article, but Danny, I'm going to kind of just let you go. And if there's any specific numbers, please do state them
Oh,
for those of
these
for
these are
everybody that's
good.
not able to read the blog in the video.
Yeah. PvE, we're eating good because
And
you
that's
know how there's a lot
everybody,
of
right?
fragments. Yep. There's a lot of fragments on light subclasses that only give you like one fragment slot. It's a lot of those aspects that only give one. They're being bumped up to two. Every single one of them that only gave one fragment slot is now going to give two.
Which is
So
really nice.
that's for the Hunter, Trapper's Ambush, Shatter Dive, and Gunpowder Gamble. For the Titan, Bastion, and Juggernaut. And for the Warlock, Chaos Accelerant.
Which is what I currently use because that's the grenade enhancer.
So build crafting for those fragments are gonna get a little more insane.
It's gonna feel nice.
And super tuning, all supers have increased PvE damage resistance by 20%.
And that is while you cast it, correct?
Yep. While
Yeah.
you cast it and while they're active, you get increased 20% resistance in PvE.
Ah, yes, so that's why they nerfed well. Because they knew they were going to be rebuffing it.
Yep. And in for the hunter, PvE damage.
Oh, I can't even imagine Titan Bubble. What the fuck?
It's gonna be funny.
It's
So
gonna be impossible to. I mean, it's already impossible to kill fucking Titans. They eat so many crayons. They shit rainbows for a living.
good news though, these are just PvE changes.
Yes, which is
PvP
very
is
solid.
untouched.
Which I'm very glad because I think that you and I can both agree. The PvP sandbox and the PvE sandbox, especially after the past couple of months, that we have taken a look at articles and we've taken a look at TWABs. We've seen a lot of problems with PvP, so I'm glad to see that we are getting a little bit of a change specifically just for PvE. Because PvP is fucking rough right now.
It needs its own sandbox. That's it. It just needs to be completely separated.
1,000%. 1,000%. So,
Um,
and then what are the subclass keywords that are evolving for Arc and Solar?
Oh, there's more to it. Everybody's eating good next season.
Okay, so
They're
go
starting.
yeah. So let's go over Arc and Solar, and then we'll go over what's happening with Stasis.
Yeah. So for they're going by the different classes. Hunter, Golden Gun, both Marksman and Deadshot are getting increased PvE damage by 20%. Arc Staff is also getting that 20% damage buff in PvE. That's nice. Spectral Blades are getting a 35% damage increase in PvE, and the heavy attack now weakens targets on hit. So
Excuse me?
Spectral Blades will actually be doing a debuff, as well as 35% more damage.
Huh.
So it's going to be useful in PvE, finally. Uh, Gathering Storm is also getting changed in PvP and PvE. They're they're increasing the direct impact damage of it, but increasing the time it takes between lightning strikes. So
That's a good thing at least.
direct hits, it's also going to deal increased damage against Will of Radiance and Ward of Dawn.
Thank God. But
And
also
let's
still
see.
pain.
Yeah. Titans, Fist of Havoc's light attack cost reduced from 8.5% down to 6%. The heavy cost reduced from 18 to 12%. The increased heavy attack PvE damage by 33%. And the heavy attack now blinds targets near the center of the slam area. So Fist of Havoc getting a fairly decent PvE buff.
Okay.
Glacial Quake getting increased Shiver Strike thrust speed will end super by 10% and increased light attack damage by 20%. Kind of a small buff for Stasis Titan. Sentinel Shield is getting increased PvE damage by 20%. Hammer of Soul increased PvE damage by 10%. Burning Maul increased PvE damage by 10%. Now creates a sunspot on cast. And Heavy Attack Cyclone now applies Scorch over time. Burning Maul getting a huge buff in PvE.
Titans are eating mad good right now. Jesus.
That's a good change. Like Scorch being applied is a very good change.
Right. Now, hit me with it, Danny. Did they even
The
do anything for
Warlock time.
did they do anything for Warlocks?
Nova Warp. Increased PvE damage by 15%. A fully charged attack now makes enemies volatile on hit. Nova Warp gets 15% more damage and makes enemies volatile.
Wait, is that it?
That was all for Nova Warp. Nova Bomb. PvE damage increased by 20%.
Both Nova Bombs?
Yep. They
What the
buffed
fuck?
Nova Bombs again.
I'm flabbergasted. I am genuinely surprised. Nova Bomb's like one of the Nova Bomb is one of the best like strike playlist fucking supers to go.
And it's stronger next season.
Yeah. Now, all right, Danny. Arc and Solar. What do they do for Warlock?
Storm Trance. Increased PvE damage by 25%. Damage ramp while attacking now occurs more quickly.
What the fuck?
The damage ramp now only takes 3 seconds, down from 5.
Oh my god.
And landfall detonation and seekers now jolt targets.
That's pretty solid. All right, that's a W. I'll take that. That's a W.
Here comes the fun one. Chaos Reach. Increased PvE damage by 25%. Sustained damage on a single target now creates a jolting lightning strike at the target's location. Increased damage resistance versus players from 40% to 50%. Increased maximum strafe speed from 3.5 meters a second to 4.5 meters a second. And adjusted super camera to avoid the player's body blocking the view of targets when strafing.
Huh.
So, to increase the damage that Chaos Reach does, they gave it a damage buff plus jolting lightning.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No, that's solid. That's really, really, really solid.
Geomag's back on the menu.
Thank God. Now, here's the real question, though, Danny. Did they fix Daybreak yet?
They actually they have Daybreak last out of these,
Oh,
but
there's. Okay, so go ahead, keep going then.
Winter's Wrath increased PvE damage by 10%. That should probably be more. Daybreak,
Yeah,
it,
I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of. I mean, it's a roaming super.
out. Daybreak adjusted super camera to allow the player to look down further and avoid visual effects blocking the view of targets when moving quickly.
That's it.
That's basically it for that. And then they have a bunch of changes for Stace. Well, not Stace. They have a bunch of strand changes, which were listed last week. And then stasis changes. They're basically unnerfing the little shurikens a little bit because they feel like they hit those too
No.
hard.
No.
Uh,
Silence and Squall is still. Wait.
Bad. Silence and Skull is actually kind of bad since Strand exists.
I mean, I don't know about that. Now, to be fair, I got smacked with 3 Silence and Squalls in a row while playing Supremacy, so that felt really bad. Um,
Multiple of them, yes.
yeah. So multiple Silence and Squalls, you're never taking a point. You're never gonna win the match because they're
But
just
yeah,
gonna zone the whole map.
the only change they did was to the melee, and that's it.
Okay.
Titan Shiver Strike also got its increase. Its thrust all in flight was increased by 16% and decreased maximum downward influence of gravity while in flight by 18%. And they increased the freezing cone of Howl of the Storm by 31%.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, that's a solid one.
And Warlock Frost Pulse now provides 2 meters of additional melee lunge range after activation for 1.2 seconds.
Oh, that's really nice. Because it means that you'll actually be in range for the fucking melee to shatter.
It's pretty nice. And
That's
they've
that's
also
that's good. That's good.
yeah, they also tapped Titan a little bit. Seismic Strike, Shield Bash, Hammer Strike now cost 15% melee energy on activation, which means if you use it to move yourself around the map faster, you're going to be slowed down because it's going to eat 15% of your melee every time you do that.
Yeah. Which I don't know how I feel about those changes. I saw because that was the one that I saw on Twitter, mostly, and I saw a lot of hate comments about that change.
I think it is primarily to cut down a bit on griefing with the Titan skating. Because
I'm,
most people do use it to knock teammates off the map,
yeah.
which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's a bannable offense.
And let's see. They reduced the lunge range of knockout, but unchanged the melee PvE damage bonus. Well, the uncharged melee PvE damage bonus has increased from 60% to 100% for knockout.
That's interesting.
Shield throw, they have increased the base impact damage from 60 to 70, increased the consistency of it finding and adjusting trajectory after the bounce, and they have changed the throwing hammer to where it adjusts its initial flight trajectory based on your aim assist target.
Huh. That's a nice little touch up on that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and they increased the tick damage of sunspots from 17 to 22.
I'm still mad that they basically did nothing to fucking Daybreak.
Yeah, and
That's
let's
like
see.
that's the one that they needed the most.
It really does. Hunter got a lot of changes coming up.
Hunter, Titan. Well,
Yeah,
Titan, to be fair, also got a couple nerfs with the shoulder charge stuff.
and there's even more.
Oh my god.
So Snare Bomb increased PvE weaken duration from 4 to 8 seconds, which that's a good change. That's nice.
I apologize about yawning, by the way. If you're watching the video, you see me yawning again. I'm lack of sleep. I am doing my
Yeah,
best to try and
that
stay
is
awake
understandable.
because this is
And
gonna be
let's
like an
see.
hour and a half long VOD.
Oh yeah. Proximity explosive knife detonation damage versus players reduced from 105 to 90, and the impact damage increased from 14 to 20.
Okay.
Weighted throwing knife on mouse and keyboard reduced the minimum tracking shape by 25% and the maximum by
Ooh.
10%.
And that's specifically for mouse and keyboard? Ooh, that's
Yep.
rough.
Lightweight knife, they have increased the projectile speed from 30 meters per second to 40 meters per second.
I mean,
And
that makes sense.
yeah, and they've increased the tracking shape by 20%, which is fair because who's using a lightweight knife? Overweighted knife.
You're not wrong.
Gunpowder Gamble has a reduced cooldown from 12 seconds to 6 seconds. Since it's now going to have an extra fragment slot, it might get some more use. Probably not, though. Warlocks. Incinerator Snap. They fixed an issue preventing the secondary projectile aiming shape from activating, and total damage versus players reduced from 150 to 135 to compensate for dramatically increased consistency. So you should be hitting those more.
That's good at least. Yeah, I feel like they spread out a little too far
Yeah,
at certain points, so it's just trying to find the sweet spot.
exactly. And Ball Lightning increased PvE damage by 30% and reduced the ping scalar on both primary and secondary detonations, so combatants are less likely to be knocked out of the secondary strike area while the player is amplified. So
All right,
good
no.
consistency change in PvE damage for that. Chaos Accelerant, Scatter Grenade, increased tracking consistency of charged scatter grenade submunitions. Basically, there was a bug that some of them would detonate when they impacted the ground, and they fixed that. Magnetic Grenade with handheld Supernova has increased the charge hold time from 3.2 seconds to 4.5 because that's a one hit kill for a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, handheld supernova is just it's so strong. It's
And
so fucking strong.
it really is. And they fixed an issue with Lightning Surge, allowing it to deal more instances of secondary strike damage than intended. Now targets can take a maximum of 2 instances of damage from a single activation of the ability, one from the primary lightning strike around the player, and one from the secondary lightning strike. It's just primarily to prevent random one-shots for no reason.
We like
Because
those.
it
We take
does.
those. We
Yeah.
definitely take those. Um and again, if you do want to see all of the changes, you can go down to the Stasis Strand and Light subclasses, get their
Yep.
glow ups for season 21. They have a link for the blog right here in yellow if you want to go take a look at the numbers yourself. I know we just threw a lot of stats at you guys, and we apologize, but we have to
Yeah.
go over them.
Most of them are primarily like consistency things, and they talk a little bit about this. Like they're also changing Scorch, Jolt, and Speed Booster to be more consistent. So Scorch is going to last 2.3 seconds on players, up from the 1.5, and in PvE it's going to last 4.5 seconds, up from 3. So Scorch is
That's
getting
insane.
buffed.
Yeah,
Jolt,
that's a major change.
yeah,
That's huge.
Jolt's getting nerfed a tiny bit by 15%, but it's primarily just because Jolt, it's consistency thing. Jolt's kind of all over the place. It either does too much damage or not enough damage,
Yeah, and they're
and
trying to
it's
find the sweet spot right now.
yeah, because Jolt primarily is the best when it works.
Not wrong. Anything else
And
that we need to go over on that?
yeah, speed booster got reduced from 1.5 times to 1.25 times, but it now activates 2.5 seconds after sprinting, down from 3, and it lingers for 2 seconds, up from 1.5.
Oh wow, that's pretty solid. That's
So
good.
it's just a lot of consistency changes mostly is coming, along with the massive PvE buffs for everyone.
Yeah, well about to be OP again. So
It's gonna be nice to see Chaos Reach again.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm still probably never gonna use Blink if I'm
I just
being
want to
real.
see the numbers. I want to see how much that actually like
Yeah, the
buffs
number.
it.
I think the numbers will determine if Blink is really good or not.
Because if it puts Chaos Reach up there with Needle Storm, that's a pretty significant buff. But the Nova Bombs being buffed by another 20%
Yeah, I don't
is.
understand why they buffed Nova Bombs.
I am okay with that because in game content about to be playable. Very playable.
Oh yeah, so pretty solid. All right, we're gonna move on real quick. So, economy changes. This is going to take a while for us to get through, so we apologize. There's a lot of stuff that we have to go through. So, in-game economy is getting changed. Changes to the power band and crafting economy changes along with exotic armor focusing and more. So, for the first time ever, they will not be increasing the power bands in Destiny 2 in Season 21. The power floor will be 1600 as the start of Neo Muna. The soft cap will be 1750 and the power cap will be 1800 with the pinnacle cap being 1810. And it will not change over the course of Season 21. If players hit the pinnacle cap during Season 20, they will remain at the pinnacle cap in Season 21. So that's pretty solid. So if
Yeah.
you've already grinded to 1810, congratulations, you're there. You
Yeah,
don't have
you're
to do
done.
shit. Yeah, you're already at
No
max level
power
for next
grinding.
season. Yeah, you don't need to stock up on. Well, I mean, you could still stock up on bounties for the season pass, but yeah.
Yeah.
So solid. Along with that, we touched on this in the past, but it's worth repeating regarding exotic armor focusing and decryption coming to Rahul at the start of Season 21. Now, the focusing options. There's going to be a standard decryption, allows players to decrypt engrams for free. Players receive random drops from standard exotic engram loot pools, and there's no additional cost. Exotic focusing Tier 1. You can focus specifically Red War exotic helms, Red War exotic arms, Red War exotic chests, Red War exotic legs. Forsaken exotic armor, Shadowkeep Forsaken exotic armor, Beyond Light exotic armor, Witch Queen exotic armor, and Lightfall exotic armor will be coming in a future season. So basically, a lot of the sets from previously, except for Lightfall. Along with that, it requires ownership of the associated expansion as well as having previously acquired all armor pieces within the engram for your class. So it will cost one exotic engram, 30,000 glimmer, one ascendant shard. Uh,
That's not terrible.
yeah, for certain exotic pieces. Like if you're willing to just kind of roll the dice and you're just like, you know what, fuck it, let me see what happens. I think that's a reasonable price. One exotic
Yeah.
engram, 30,000 glimmer, one ascendant shard. Everybody's got that. I'm okay with that. Here's where I think is kind of the issue. Exotic focusing tier 2. You will get to focus specific exotic armor for high cost. Same thing as previously, it requires ownership of the associated expansion as well as having previously acquired that piece of armor. The cost is going to be one exotic engram, 60,000 glimmer, 3 ascendant shards, and 1 exotic cipher. Here is my problem. I don't mind the exotic cipher. Hell, I don't mind the glimmer. Hell, I don't mind the exotic engram. But 3 fucking ascendant shards when you can carry a maximum of 10. Because you
Yeah.
know damn well people are gonna try and grind the best statted ones there are.
They might have a little surprise after this, but is interesting.
Okay. So, we have also taken a pass at the exotic armor stat packages, so your exotic should roll consistently higher stats and with more frequent individual stat spikes starting in Season 21. You can expect the average stats to be in the mid 60s. That is really good because it feels so bad when your exotic armor piece has a stat total of 56.
Oh yeah.
That feels awful. So,
It's a sad moment.
yeah, so which is pretty interesting. So I'm happy about that. that they're changing that, because it also means that when if you have one of the ghost mods on, it will make it that much more valuable, because then you can actually choose which stats you really want bonus stats on.
Yep.
And
Here's
it's
a surprise, though.
all right. Uh, is it the next paragraph here?
Yep.
Lastly, since we are not raising the Pinnacle cap in Season 21, the need for many Pinnacle Legendary rewards has dropped significantly. To help making playing in our Evergreen Ritual playlist more worthwhile, we are changing the rewards for the basic Complete Activities challenges to a focusable, powerful, exotic engram. This gives most players 3 to 9 free, achievable, and deterministic weekly exotic engrams ready for focusing. But yes, you will be losing some pinnacle drops, so reaching the pinnacle cap will be a bit slower for everyone. We are hoping the need for less pinnacle drops continues in future seasons. We will be looking at feedback and analytics and are ready to adjust as necessary. Along with that, other sources of focusable exotic engrams. You can get them from random world drops, the season pass, paid and free tracks. It will give you 6 paid, but if you don't pay for the season pass, you will get 2 for free. So that's pretty solid. And vendor reputation tracks, one each reset after the first. You can expect additional focusable exotic engram sources in future seasons. So, to kind of unpack
Yeah.
that a little bit, that is really, really solid. So, if you are grinding towards the pinnacle cap right now, I would heavily try to finish that before the end of the season. Because if you hit 1810, you're already there. You're just going to get more exotic shit. So now you can grind, that one piece of armor that you've been really looking forward to for a while. So that's pretty good. I'm really happy with that.
Like 3 to 9 free exotics every week. That's pretty nice. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Now some of them may still have bad stat rolls, which is fine. Just break them down for shards.
Yep. Because that's gonna be real nice if you're trying to get that specific role you're looking for on an exotic. Because even if you don't focus it, 3 to 9 exotics each week, you're bound to get a decent roll out of one of those.
100%. All right, now let's set our sights on deep sight activation and other crafting changes on the way. So, they are going to be. We will be adding the ability to electively activate deep sight on weapon instances to obtain pattern progress. This capability will be accessible through a new mod slot in the weapon details screen for eligible weapons. To perform a deep sight activation on a weapon, you will need a new deep sight harmonizer currency. Non-raid weapons will cost 1 harmonizer, while raid weapons will require 15 spoils of conquest in addition to the 1 harmonizer cost. This deep sight harmonizer currency can be attained from season pass reward ranks. 3 in the free ranks and 3 in the paid, so 6 of total. This will be the sole source of this currency for the initial rollout of the feature. Additionally, only 1 harmonizer can be stored in the inventory at any time, because the currency does not stack. Along with that, not all weapon instances will be compatible with deep sight activations. You will be prevented from activating deep sight for a weapon that has already had its pattern unlocked. Weapons that previously had deep sight will be ineligible. You cannot activate deep sight on a weapon instance which had originally been acquired with deep sight, nor can you activate deep sight multiple times on a single weapon instance. And along with that, weapon instances purchased from raid vendors will be ineligible. However, weapons purchased from Xur and the gunsmith will support deep sight activation. So overall, pretty solid. I can't wait to see the harmonizer and what it looks like.
I like the idea of the system because it just means faster progress to the pattern.
I also very heavily agree, because trying to grind the pattern some days is just fucking awful.
Deep sight drop rates are bad. That's just it.
Yeah,
Until it gets like up toward the end of the season from the vendors where they're just like, here you go, here's one every day. It's just not great.
yeah. Along with that, crafting costs will also see a change in Season 21. Legendary Shard costs will be removed from all crafting components. Glamour and Enhancement Core costs will remain untouched. The enhancement weapon costs are based on weapon masterwork costs, and thus will still require legendary shards, as we are not yet modifying the weapon masterwork economy in Season 21. Personally, I think I'm fine with that. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
just to kind of give you a chance to get more mats. So
Yeah,
again, totally fine. Uh,
this category.
quality of
I
life
like this one.
quality of life updates that we think you'll enjoy. So Danny, I'm gonna let you handle this one because I need to rest my throat for a moment.
Yeah. So coming in season 21, we have a number of quality of life updates we are excited to share with you. First up, let's take a look at raid triumphs. So basically over the past year they added a lot of triumphs to raids, dungeons, which increased your chance of getting the exotic from those activities. They're
I.e.,
adding them to legacy
Duality,
content.
Spire of the
Yeah.
Watcher, Brood of Nightmares.
And they're adding them to legacy content, finally. So Last Wish, they show you the different triumphs here. Like Petra's Run will give you a +3 rate boost because Flawless Last Wish is hell. And if you complete that, first of all, what is wrong with you? Second of all, congratulations. The new meta is basically just doing it with all the same class. That's fair. And then the subsequent different challenges. Each of those give you different boosts to getting 1 KV, which is good. Glad they're doing that. Deepstone has the same thing. The flawless one will always give you +3, which is fair. Doing a flawless raid is hard, so that's a fair amount. And then the others, of course, give you significantly less. Same with Vow, because Vow actually has a master difficulty, so that gives you +2, and it's understandable. Like these make sense. I'm glad they're adding them because the drop rates on specifically things like Eyes of Tomorrow and Vex Mythoclast, the drop rates on those are extremely low. So having these triumphs tied to the drop rate is a great change because it gives you an incentive to do the triumphs in those raids or
Yeah,
dungeons.
because unless you're doing wards first, you really don't need to do them.
No. Or if you just want the extra loot on the week that it's the weekly raid. But other than that, this is a great change because it gives you an incentive to do them. Plus, ups the drop rate of those exotics, which makes them less painful to get to actually drop. Like, I
Agreed.
know for me, Vex Mythoclast and Touch of Malice are two that just refuse to drop, as well as Collective Obligation.
Right.
So it'd be nice to actually have those.
Yep. Now, this is something that's going to be interesting. As part of our ongoing efforts to simplify the economy of Destiny 2, it's time to say goodbye to Finest Matterweave and Rainmaker consumable items. Now, as a reminder, Finest Matterweave, if you consume one, the next boss that you kill or challenging enemy will drop an enhancement core. Rainmaker will just give you 4 hours of if you kill an enemy, you have a higher chance for them to shower glitter everywhere or glimmer everywhere. And personally, I do use these all the time. I use Rainmaker constantly because I'm constantly spending Glimmer on buying upgrades, buying upgrade modules. So, starting in season 21, these items will no longer drop from any source in the game. In any instance where players would have received a Finest Matterweave, they will receive one enhancement core instead. And whenever players would have gotten a drop of a Rainmaker, they will instead earn 3,000 Glimmer. Furthermore, all existing instances of these items items in players' inventories can be consumed to directly grant their associated materials. All existing instances of Finest Matterweave can be dismantled for one enhancement core each, and all existing instances of Rainmaker can be dismantled for 3k Glimmer. So, fun fact: if you are at Glimmer Cap, just buy a fuck ton of sparrows
Yeah, honestly,
and
yeah.
just store them in the bank and then do this, get all your Glimmer. Now, I'm personally going to save, like, if I can, I'm going to try and save one Finest Matterweave and one Rainmaker so I can try to put it in the bank. Because I did that with all of the old mats as well. So that'll be. It's sad to see them go because I'm not going to lie, Danny. I very much heavily abused both of these Rainmaker over Finest Matterweave. But that's just because I'm broke in real life and in game. Um, Also, I just wish they would increase the glimmer cap to at least 300,000.
They really should, just like
Cause like
aside,
trying to get fucking exotics from the Monument of Lost Light takes over half of them.
there's just a lot of stuff where I'm just like, why don't they just increase the cap for that? Because like, what else do you use a glimmer for? Like, you use it for upgrades and to buying stuff that's like 50 to 60K.
Yeah, well, and buying bounties
Yeah, that's like those basically pay for themselves
for the
pretty
most.
quick.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. So, along with that, Vanguard bounty updates. We haven't made wide-ranging updates to Vanguard bounties in a while, so we took a pass to make them a little bit friendlier. Daily bounties. Existing daily bounties requiring you to get a specific type of kill, grenade, headshot, or any of the special or heavy weapons, now require twice as many kills to complete, but can be done anywhere in the game with increased progress in Vanguard Ops or Nightfalls. If you only planned on doing these in Vanguard activities, you should see no change in behavior. We also added a number of new bounties. Killing elites, mini bosses, and champions as one, kills with elemental abilities with bonuses for killing with a subclass verb as two, and complete two Vanguard activities. So just a standard playlist, complete two runs, you're done.
Yep.
So that's pretty nice. Regarding repeatable bounties, all enemy kill type kill bounties, High, Vex, Taken, Cabal, Fallen, and Scorn, have significantly increased requirements, but can be advanced by killing any combatant into Vanguard activity, with significantly increased progress for killing the correct type of combatant. We also added one repeatable bounty, one for getting fire team kills and a Vanguard activity. Solid changes. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, it's like they basically, if you do exactly what it asks, it'll take the same amount of time, but you can constantly progress it even if you get something that's not being asked for. It's
Right.
a nice change.
Yes. Along with that, Good Boy Protocol. Archie is returning in season 21. The goodest boy is back. Now that we found him a permanent home in the tower, we are reintroducing the Good Boy Protocol stat tracker and moving it to the account/career category. Your previous progress from season 19 will also carry over. And I am
Very nice.
very excited to see that. I know a lot of people were very happy about the goodest boy. Now, couple other things to note. Important season pass info starting with season 21. The season pass will be going up from 1k silver to 1200 silver, and the season pass plus 10 ranks bundle will go from 2000 silver to 2200 silver. This will be the new pricing for season passes in Lightfall's year for those looking to maximize their rewards with each new season, and will be evaluating new approaches to post-launch content in the year of the final shape. Pricing will remain unchanged for the Lightfall Standard Edition, which includes access to the current live season at the time of purchase, and Lightfall Plus Annual Pass Edition, which includes access to seasons 20 through 23. And I know that a lot of people were probably wondering about that. Is, hey, I bought the better edition, right? And it came with all the season passes. Does that mean that I have to still spend silver? No. You will still, if you get all, if you buy, I think it's the whatever the ones above the standard, right, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the deluxe edition, you're fine.
yeah,
Like you got the annual pass, you're good.
yeah.
Honestly, it's
And
probably going
because
to
you
be the
normally
best
get it
way
in the
going
pre-order.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, trials. There's a new ghost. Heroes Wake Exotic Ghost Show.
The Scarab. That's about it.
It's bland.
The ship, though.
The ship, though, the Valiant Memory Exotic Ship. The ship, though, do be kind of bussin',
That ship looks straight out of Stargate.
and I'm fucking here for it. Very, very good. Along with that, we will also get the Survivor's Journey Exotic Sparrow, which also looks really good, in my opinion. I think it goes really well with the ship. I just wish that you could add a little sticker on it that says Osiris is useless on the side, because I would use that everywhere. Am I wrong, Danny?
He is kind of he's kind of getting a little old and crotchety.
Fucking boomer!
That shader though.
Yes. Along with that, we will have a new shader on the horizon called Glorious Patina that players will unlock the first time they open the Lighthouse Rewards chest in Season 21. It is a gold and brown casing. Uh, I think that's cool. I think it looks great. Along with that, the shader and any shaders released in the future for Trials of Osiris will be permanently unlocked once acquired. Transmog to your heart's content, this beauty can be applied to any piece of equipment. Just as a heads up, Glorious Patina will only be available to players who go flawless during Season 21. Future seasons will see the return of older trial shaders that were previously exclusive to Adept weapons as rewards for completing the first seasonal flawless ticket, and they will now be fully accessible and usable as on all your Transmog Hungry gear. So, Season 21 will be the Glorious Patina shader. Season 22, it will be Bloodline Feud. And in Season 23, it will be Vizier Regalia. So, along with that, in Season 21, the Messenger is coming back to the Trials loot pool. I am not looking forward to this. I thought PvP was already bad enough. This fucking gun hates me.
Oh, the messenger, like, once you get a solid roll on that, you don't need, like, any other pulse for PvP, to be honest. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, along with that, we will also be getting the Unexpected Resurgence Adaptive Arc Glaive. With
Interesting.
that, yes. The Adept version of Unexpected Resurgence will be first available on the weekend of June 9th, while the Adept version of the Messenger will be available on the weekend of June 16th. The following weapons are going to be removed from the standard pool in Season 21, but they will be part of the Legacy focusing with Saint 14.
Which I'm glad they're doing that.
Yes, very, very, very glad, and that includes the Inquisitor Shotgun and the Winter's Wime Bow. So, good to see. It's good to see again stuff getting swapped out, stuff getting put in. So I'm very, very, very happy about that. Now, let's talk about labs. Danny, I'm not reading all of this. Can you?
I'll be honest. I just skimmed through this because I was like, "This is trials."
Nobody gives a shit.
It's like, if you know trials, you probably pay attention to these already.
Yeah.
They basically just went over a lot of analytics, and they said for like week 8 specifically, they didn't communicate properly that starting Sunday at reset, players who had already been flawless could still farm adept weapons on any like 7-win card, even flawed cards. But a lot of stuff that they talked about, they're still going to keep an eye on things. They're going to tweak stuff a bit more to make Season 21 a little bit more of like, okay, this is kind of what we want to do with it. Like, for instance, they're adding an intro quest in the next category of this. Plus, Dominion is taking over as the go-to trials mode,
which is interesting. I think that's both good and bad. Because Dominion is flags, right? It's capture the flag.
Yeah, Dominion is like kind of like I think the hybrid one, where for the first half it's kills, and then if it goes long enough, a capture point pops up.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of the amount of Titan bulbs that I'm gonna see.
That's probably why they're buffing the damage against them.
Probably a good idea. Along with that, Trials passages. The Passage of Wealth and Passage of Mercy have been changed. Passage of Wealth used to grant increased reputation on wins 3, 5, and 7 while you had a card. Instead, in Season 21, the Passage will grant plus 75 Trials rep for every win, along with an additional bonus for your current major rank in Trials, up to plus 150 total. Along with that, Passage of Mercy. In Season 21, this passage will forgive 2 losses if you have not yet been flawless for the week. After going flawless, if you reset your card, it will revert to forgiving a single loss on each card. This is, I think, a great start.
It's fantastic. That's a good change.
Absolutely. Now, if they could just fix the fucking matchmaking to where if somebody's already been flawless, I don't have to fight them.
Yep, it will be nice because, like, I do believe that people of different, like, skill levels should be able to have the opportunity to go flawless.
Yeah, getting gatekept on win 5 or 6 hurts.
It's painful.
And Danny and I speak to that from experience. So having 2 losses forgiven is really nice. But again, they just need to fix their matchmaking overall.
Yeah. It's like it's at the point where even looking at these changes, I'm still like hard pressed not to take the passage of wealth because that's a lot of reputation gain.
Yeah. Now, along with that, Dominion. Basically, they're just kind of going over the rules of how Dominion works. I'm not going to go into that. So, if you do want to take how it looks and figure out how it works, it's here.
Yeah. And they're also changing the requirements for Gilded Flawless.
Yes, which I am uh pretty okay with for the most part.
They got rid of the carry players to the Flawless.
Yes, that I think is the biggest change of them all, and I'm actually genuinely happy about that. I think that that
And
is the best change that they are getting rid of.
and they definitely seem to make it a bit more of a grind too.
Yeah, from
It's
180
like
to 500 kills, 16 trials ranks, go flawless and get 50 kills with one of the seasonal exotic weapons equipped. You do not need to get 50 kills with the weapon itself. You just need to have it equipped while you get 50 kills. So that's pretty solid. As long as it's on your bar, you're chilling.
yep.
And then just a lot of just basic stuff for the rest of the cards. So yeah, pretty solid overall. Not too bad. We got more emblems, lighthouse emblems. Yay! Still haven't been flawless. Yay! Also, your trials map is Rusted Lands. Go fuck yourself.
I
These
st-
these
I
maps
still
are
find it.
ass.
I find it so funny that Convergence was dead last by 1%. More people voted for Disjunction than Convergence,
Because
which is
half the people that
really
play this
funny
game are
to
Yeah,
me.
that's because half the people that play this game are psychopaths, Danny.
it's it's just it's so wild to see that map so high. I kind of figured it would be Rusted Lands because shotguns and fusions.
Yeah, and the map's been around since the fucking dawn of time.
Kinda has. Uh, that's just a funny vote.
Yep. Along with that, Prime Gaming Gear. If you have Amazon Prime and you've got it linked to your Twitch for Twitch Prime, why are you not collecting the free loot? It's free loot. Free
Yeah,
loot. Go
they
get
got some
loot.
fun stuff.
Yeah, and here's the best part. If you don't want the legendaries, get rid of them. Because here's the thing. Once you have collected it, it is now in your collection, so you can get it whenever you want.
Yeah,
So this wonderful,
anytime.
yeah. So this wonderful bullshit garbage legendary sparrow, you're just gonna get some. You're just gonna get some legendary shards out of it. I'm not mad about it. So the rewards are hit the bag exotic emote, Phalanx exotic ghost shell, Alton's Ambus legendary sparrow, and the Pumping Iron legendary ghost hollow projection. Along with that, we are getting free wallpapers for every single class. We have Warlock, Titan, and Hunter available. And there's also, looks like phone wallpapers as well.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of bugs. We're not going to go over them. Um, well, actually, are there any that we? Are there any? I mean, there's a couple here that actually I'm taking a look at immediately. The Guardian Games quests are only progressing with bronze medals. That feels bad. Wish Ender does not penetrate extended phalanx or Hydra shields. That needs to get fixed.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. The Vex Caliber Catalyst Triumph is not completing. That feels really bad. Some gilded titles are no longer gilded. I think we saw that last week. The Sharan Hunter's Aspect Ensnaring Slam does not trigger some class ability mods. That is really fucking bad.
Yep.
So, yeah. And now we are
Uh,
on to the movies of the week and art of the week. Thank God,
yeah,
Danny, we've made it to the end.
yeah,
Because I am so ready to go to sleep.
that's fair.
So the movie of the week, it is We Defeated Rolk in Minecraft, and this was by JP Creations. They recreated the Rolk fight all in Minecraft, which I think is pretty fucking dope.
That's some dedication.
Oh yeah. Along with that, Tyler Randall 05X, when you're perfectly in sync. Um, this is the Vow of the Disciple room, yes?
Oh no, that's Root.
Oh, that's Root. I haven't been through Root, so I couldn't tell you, but that's a beautiful looking hallway. Now I will
Root
not.
is a beautiful raid.
Now I will not be again watching the video as I normally don't. But please go check them out here on Twitter. Along with that, we got Bubba bonus movie of the week, Aurora Sacrifice. Aurora Sacrifice by 419 megahertz. So that's pretty dope. Along with that, Hunters, Pukas, and BFFs for life. We have The Vein, 8, I believe, and Puka Supremacy. And we are no strangers to The Vein. This is like their third or fourth times that I've seen them showing up, Danny, and I will forever still continue to love their artwork. I think
Great
they're
art style.
very, very unique art style, and I love how the glow and the shading works. I think it's phenomenal. Along with that, we have Monoceros 3D with first of the two giveaway pieces. This one was for Chibi Jaxi. Had a lot of fun working on this one. Now on to the next, and it is them with, I'm gonna assume, which looks like Le Monarch.
It absolutely is.
Yep. So I think that's great. And we've made it to the end of the TWAB. Thank fucking God. I am
Yeah,
exhausted.
that was it. There was a lot in this. They
6,500 plus words, Danny.
they are feeding us well with the PvE buffs next season.
Yep, and you know what the sad part is, though, Danny?
Dawnblade is still
Still,
kind of meh.
Dawnblade is still ass, but no, it means that we're gonna have another 2 to 3 more weeks of hour-long goddamn fucking TWAB videos.
Maybe.
So please make sure to grab your popcorn, cause
Because
fuck.
the only other thing that I think they could talk about is at least give us a taste of the exotics that are getting reworked. Because they said there were about 20 exotics that they're reworking.
Well, yeah, and we'll probably end up seeing that list either right before season 21 or right after season 21 drops.
Yep.
So, but yeah, with that being said, Danny, any last thoughts about the TWAB?
Uh, I'm actually happy to see Chaos Reach getting unnerfed.
Yeah, no, 100%. Uh, I
More
mean,
options in PvE.
I mean, all of the classes got buffs for PvE by getting the damage resistance, which I think is
Yeah.
again which is really solid.
Roaming supers getting buffs aside from Daybreak.
Yeah, so it's certainly going to be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Um, anything else to say, Danny?
I was not expecting that change to Spectral.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
That's
was.
wild.
That one threw me way the fuck off.
That's
So,
about it, though.
yeah. But overall, solid TWAB, solid TWAB. Again, if you need to find all the numbers for all of the changes done to the light subclasses into stasis slash strand, you can click on that link later on in the TWAB. With that being said, Danny, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch under the same name.
You can also find me at DominiFox1 on Twitter or on Twitch slash YouTube at DominiFox. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We both really appreciate it. Again, fair apologies. I am exhausted. So if you saw me doze in and out of consciousness, that's why. I'm running on 30 minutes of sleep. So, thank you guys so much again for watching the video. We both really appreciate it. I will be leaving as per usual. I think this is the first time that I'm actually mentioning it, I think, in the video. But I will be leaving Danny's link to her YouTube channel down in the comments below, and to, I believe, her Twitch as well. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all so much. We both hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, don't be a sweat lord. We'll catch you guys next time.